Hello friends, we are conspiracy theorists and it is our job to clarify the history that seems unclear. Such history is found in 1678 when Maharashtra was ruled over by Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and Mewar by Maharana Raj Singh. In 1678, dangerous assassination attempts start on Shivaji and Maharana Raj Singh. The assassins are deadlier. Both kings decide that they need to meet in secret. In the secret meeting, they decide to place a spy in the Mughals. Sambhaji is decided to be the spy. A few months later, Sambhaji was imprisoned at Panala on fake accounts. In 1680, Shivaji and Raj Singh die, but not of natural consequences. Both deaths are completely unclear and no one can provide a completely logical account of what happened. In 1680, Sambhaji escapes and goes to the Mughals, while Soyrabai Annaji Datto places Rajaram first as king. Annaji Datto was one of the Ashtapradhan of Shivaji Maharaj and Soyrabai was one of his wives. In 1680, the end of the year, Sambhaji defected to the Mughals and he gets completely friendly with Akbar, the fourth son of Aurangzeb and possibly the only son with a good heart. Akbar tells him about his father's secret, that is the assassins. After hearing this, Sambhaji runs away from the Mughals. The reason? Because the assassins are too deadly to take on. He retakes the Maratha throne. Sambhaji fears the assassins and the safety of his people and the land, so he makes border regulations extremely strict. This is the precise reason why Sambhaji did not expand his kingdom much. Meanwhile, Soyrabai and Annaji Datto plotted against Sambhaji and sent the Mughals a letter. However, Akbar gets the letter and sends it back to Sambhaji, due to which Sambhaji executes Soyrabai, Annaji Datto and a few members of Soyrabai's family. Now, the strange thing is, Sambhaji found weird marks on Soyrabai, Annaji Datto and the members executed. The weird marks were on their necks. They seemed like puncture marks. Akbar now seeks asylum with Sambhaji and Sambhaji successfully sends him to Persia. In 1687, the Battle of Vai happened and it weakened the Maratha army, and that was all that the assassins needed to slip into the Maratha kingdom through the weakened defenses. In 1687, while Sambhaji was going to Alandi, he was kidnapped along with 25 of his ministers. In 1688, Aurangzeb slaughters Sambhaji. The assassins are also slaughtered by the traitor Aurangzeb. Only those survive who had been inside the Maratha kingdom. Now these assassins who could not go to the Marathas for asylum go to the Nizam of Hyderabad. During this period, Shahaji becomes the successor, but the true power in the hands of Balaji Peshwa. In 1713, Balaji Peshwa was appointed Bajirao by Shahu. The Nizam was ambitious. In 1713 to 1723, the time is unclear, but he stumbles upon the ancient assassins which tried to assassinate all Maratha leaders. In 1714, Aurangzeb is dead, so the expansion is started by Bajirao I. Bajirao I and Shahu never knew about the assassins as the information died with Sambhaji himself. In 1713, Balaji was appointed Peshwa by Shahu. It is during this time that the Nizam found the assassins who had murdered all the Maratha leaders and Maharana Raj Singh. In 1714, Aurangzeb died. The cause of his death was also unclear. Who killed him? How he died? There has been no logical explanation. In 1723, the Nizam went to battle against the Mughals. The Nizam teamed up with Bajirao. Even though the Nizam is with Bajirao, the Nizam was scared due to the battle strength of the Marathas and especially the battle planning of Bajirao Peshwa. 1723 to 1726, The Maratha kingdom faced extreme unrest due to competition between Shahu and Sambhaji II. The Nizam did the job of adding fuel to the fire by choosing Sambhaji II. During this time, the Nizam had started training young assassins to assassinate Balaji Peshwa and Shahu Maharaj. But Balaji Peshwa saw through Nizam's move of adding fuel to the fire and proceeded to attack the Nizam in Battle of Palkhed. The Nizam is defeated and signs a peace treaty. He loses a lot of money. However, the assassin training is kept going on. It's kept a complete secret and is completely funded. If you even check on Google, the final battle of Bajirao is always stated as Battle of Palkhed, but that isn't true. A few more battles after the Battle of Palkhed are the battles where the Nizam was waiting for the right moment. These are the battles where Marathas were against Delhi. No one was clear winner. In 1737, the Battle of Bhopal, where 80,000 Marathas versus 70,000 Nizam plus Mughal army. The Nizam plus Mughal army was defeated again, and the Nizam was extremely angry. If the Bajirao Peshwa was murdered here and now, he would have gone down as a martyr. However, the Nizam wanted Balaji Peshwa to die so that he would go down in history as a heretic. Hence, the murder was done in such a way that seemed extremely shameful. He was injected with a poison known to cause hallucinations and madness, made from the Dhatura flower predominantly found in Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Now, can you see the continuous progression of events? We can logically explain each of the events, each of the deaths of each of the kings that have died in this period. But can history? No. The only fact that is not concrete is the existence of the assassins. The rest is left to you.